Hello. Today we are going to discuss The Necklace by Guy de... you get the point. Anyway, I'm here to show you examples of irony, conflict, and characterization present in the story. Sorry, not that kind of present. Let's start with irony, because why not? First, what is irony? Well, it's a contradictory statement or situation. For example, maybe you do something in order to avoid breaking your arm, and what you do instead causes you to break the other one. That's irony. It's usually a bad thing. There are different types of irony, too. Situational irony is a type of irony that exists in the necklace. Situational irony occurs when what happens in a story is the opposite of what you expect to happen. Madame Louisielle in The Necklace thought she lived a rough life. She thought she was poor and socially unacceptable. However, if you read the story, you'll find she is richer than the average Joe. Anyway, she wanted so badly to look beautiful and wealthy, so she asked an old friend to borrow a diamond necklace to wear to a social event. You would expect that she would be happy and return the necklace, right? Wrong. Instead, she loses the necklace, and in order to replace it, she had to give up the life she had for a harder one, the average Joe's life, and experience what it was like to be poor in order to pay for the necklace that was supposed to make her look wealthy. Even worse, she paid it off after 10 years of hard work. She found out the original necklace was a fake and only worth 500 francs. Talk about irony. You want proof, eh? Here it is in the story. Suddenly she discovered in a black satin case a superb diamond necklace. Her heart began to beat covetously. Could you lend me this, just this alone? Yes, of course. Later in the story. I've no longer got Madame Foster's necklace. 10 years later. Oh, my poor Mathilde! But mine was an imitation. It was worth at the very most 500 francs. There's your proof. Now for conflict. You know, the usual. Man versus man. Man versus society. Man versus self. Etc. Our first example is man versus society. In society, if you don't pay your debts, you'll suffer your consequences. Same goes for Madame Louisielle. The story states the fearful debt must be paid off. She would pay it. She was at war with herself because she felt poor and unacceptable to society, and that she married beneath her. This is an example of man versus self. It shows up in the story as, she had no clothes, no jewels, nothing. And these were the only things she loved, for she felt like she was made for them. She had longed so eagerly to charm, to be desired, to be wildly attractive and sought after. Another example of conflict is present in the story is man versus man. Madame Louisielle doesn't appreciate her husband. She doesn't realize all that he does for her, and she's always arguing with him. For example, the story states, she looked at him with furious eyes and said impatiently, "And what do you suppose I am supposed to wear to such an affair?" A little selfish, don't you think? All right, time for characterization. In the story, we find examples of both direct and indirect characterization. Madame Louisielle wants things she doesn't have. She thinks she deserves more than what life has given her. She thinks very highly of herself and believes that she is married beneath her and deserves much more. The story says this directly. It states, her tastes were simple because she had never been able to afford any other, but she was unhappy though she had married beneath her. For women had no cost or class, for their beauty, their grace, their charm serving them for birth or family, their natural delicacy, their instinctive elegance, their nimbleness of wit, and their only mark of rank, and put them as slum girl at the level with the highest lady of the land. This is direct characterization. Indirect characterization is shown through things like speech, thoughts, and looks. These are her thoughts. She dreamed of a better life because she dislikes the one she currently lives in. She wants so much more. She is greedy and always discontent. There is an example in the story. She imagined silent antechambers heavy with oriental tapestries, lit by torches of lofty bronze sockets with 2 fall footmen and knee benches, sleeping in large armchairs overcome by the heavy warmth of the stove. She imagined vast saloons hung with antique silks, exquisite pieces of furniture supporting priceless ornaments, and small, charming, perfumed rooms created just for little parties of intimate friends, men who were famous and sought after, whose homage roused every other woman's envious longings. Now for her looks. She used to be a beautiful woman, but when she finally got to work and had to actually do something in life and put forth effort for once, she lost her beauty in the hard times of real life. The story states, Madame Louisiana looked old now. She had become like all the other strong, hard, coarse women of the poor households. That sums up indirect characterization. And the rest of what I have to talk to you about. So, have a nice day, and draw a snail. The end.